hate puppies. It's good podcasting.
I feel threatened.
Stu, right there is where I want you just to say something. Just say your tagline, whatever that is. Go.
No. Peace out.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome.
There you go. That's perfect. I think maybe that's how we'll do it, is after you hear I feel threatened, I want you to say anything you want as a soundbite.
There you go.
And
That'll
we'll
work.
and then I'll turn it down. And that keeps me from having to redo it, and it allows you to stay fresh every week with a good one-liner.
You can switch it up, or you can keep it the same.
You know, Stu can have his own one-liner every week.
Yeah.
Now that I know that, I'm going to be overthinking it way too much.
Yes.
Oh, the puns are going to run.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
Prepare for maximum corniness.
So I do have a story,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I
Tried to be the hot dog, end up the wiener. every damn week.
Speaking of runs, do you ever just eat something?
Oh, wow. Right out the box. We're a minute
Yeah.
22 in, poop jokes.
Sometimes I eat something.
It's not really a joke, but
That's what he was leading with. Do you ever just eat something?
Yes.
Yes, sometimes I eat something.
Good topic. Today I
Oh,
ate
man.
tacos.
What's the rest of that story, Stu?
so, everybody knows, I guess, or now you know. So I'm official. Got a girlfriend. Been enjoying it.
Oh, now you're just letting the cat out the bag. You put it
Yeah.
on Facebook, and
Yeah.
now it's everywhere.
So,
How did that go from, you ever just eat something?
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend.
yeah, exactly. It's a
I don't-
transition.
I didn't see the way he was going with that. He was
Humble brag. Good God.
So I'm trying to make it very, very. I'm trying to make a nice impression to my girlfriend's kids. Meet the kids.
okay.
Okay. Happened to eat something that did not settle with me whatsoever, and I'm hanging out with the kids
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
at the house. We're playing a card game, and I can't complete the card game.
Shard attack.
And
Because
all
of
I
all the
know
numbers?
is because all I know is these kids must think this guy can't do anything because every 5 minutes I was going to the restroom.
Oh, no.
I know he's cheating. He goes in there and he comes
It
back.
was the worst experience
Royal flush.
ever.
Royal flush.
Yeah.
These are going to be Stu's puns at the beginning.
I'm putting myself out there on this one because it was horrible. I don't know what I ate, what I did. It just I there you go. All right.
That's your shit story. If we want to compare shit stories, I got a dozen.
Oh yeah, I know, but I felt bad. I was like, man, why can't these kids must just think
Maybe it was the
I'm an
nerves.
idiot.
It could have been nerves.
Could have been a green banana.
Just all freaked out about
Yeah.
meeting the kids and trying to make a good impression. You work yourself up so much that you crapped on their couch.
Now that you say that, it might be a little bit of that because I remember had thrown a surprise birthday party years and years ago for my ex, and
Nerves got you?
Leading up to it, I almost didn't make it. My ex was like, "We don't have to go out for dinner," and I was like, "No, we got to go because there's a bazillion people." I didn't say that, but there's a bazillion people waiting for it. I was so nervous trying to pull off this surprise, I couldn't even get out of the bathroom.
Okay, did you crap on your wedding day like too many times?
You tell me.
I don't think you would have shared that with me on that time.
No, I did not. That was
Trying to think, when you took your SATs, was it a shit show?
Well, remember that feeling when you first started dating your wife or your girlfriend at the time or whoever, and like you were like, "Oh God, I got to take a crap. This is gonna be awful." Especially like when you're at a dorm or like in an old fan apartment where like the bathroom is 5 feet from where you're sitting anyway. You're just like,
there's no denying what just happened.
Yeah.
Especially, it's not great.
If you're in one of those old places, they just have to have a window and no exhaust fan.
yeah,
You're screwed.
Just head out the window.
yeah.
Just give up on the date. Now I'm out.
Remember I dated this one girl that had this fan apartment, and it was a Jack and Jill bathroom. So she had a female roommate, and like the bathroom was 5 square feet, and it had 2 doors that went to both bedrooms.
It was a Jill and Jill, not a Jack and Jill?
Save that for the intro,
Okay.
Stu.
Getting there.
It's a Jill and Jill.
But it was like, oh, God, this is going to be awful.
Yeah, I don't know. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House. We're glad you're joining us today. Here, the week before the NFL season starts.
Allegedly.
Yeah. What is it? 2 weeks out?
When this episode comes out, we'll be under a week.
And I think, was it September 26th? I know that's LSU's first game, college.
Are they playing this year?
Playing 10 games all in conference.
So they are playing. I didn't know if I get. Well, are they SEC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're. I mean, they're going to play regardless.
Oh, yeah.
If AIDS was airborne transmitted, they'd be like, "Well, then this is how we die."
Yeah.
Well,
Hut.
ACC's playing too.
If AIDS was only transferred via football touches, they'd still play.
They'd play. They'd play. Yeah, that's precisely right.
Any reason to tailgate?
It only sticks to pigskin.
Yeah.
We're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts. It is religion down there.
Oh, for sure.
Like there were two things they were going to do. They were going to go to church, and they're going to the game.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
Everything else they would stay home for.
Oh, it's legitimate down there. There's only 2 weekends in the football season you can get married, and those are the bye weeks. Outside of that, if you try to get married, nobody's going to attend.
Yeah.
Well, if you do it on a Saturday. You can do a Friday wedding. You can do a Sunday wedding.
Yeah.
You just can't. Because pro sports don't matter.
True.
You know, there's just something about the
My
struggle.
pastor can't marry us. He's going to be at the game on Saturday.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just,
Blessing the team.
they don't like the pros, man.
No.
It's all college. Because it's two struggles. It's like they know that these kids have to play football, and these kids actually go to school, which is like
Yeah.
mind-blowing to them.
So did you guys see that Radford was in the New York Times
Yeah, top 10.
for
COVID cases.
COVID
Oh,
cases?
okay.
Increases.
I was like sports related?
No, it just made me think.
Yeah,
Kids
unfortunately.
going back to school, they broke out.
Unfortunately, my alma mater. Number 10 in the U.S.,
Nice.
which not great. But at the same time, I kind of wear like a badge of honor. I was like, that's right. We will go to that party.
That's right.
There's no doubt we're going to that party. Be like, what do they got there? COVID punch.
Radford, they're a proud bunch of people. I've learned
I
that
think-
in my years of hanging out with you Radford folk.
Oh, yeah. No, as soon as I saw that, like, you know me, I'm like most anti-COVID. I'm all freaked out. As soon as I saw we were in the top 10, it was just nothing but pride welled up. Nothing but pride. I was like, that is amazing. For a little school in Southwest
Yeah.
Virginia
Yeah.
to rise to the top 10, that's what I'm talking about because that's what we do. We win.
Greatness.
Because I think they jumped from like 48 cases like to something in a matter of weeks.
What is it like per capita? Because it's not
it's
like
per,
it's a
it's
large
per capita.
school.
Yeah, it is per capita, but like, so I was laughing about how Alabama had like, I wasn't laughing, but I was commenting on the fact that Alabama had like 500 cases.
Yeah.
And
Like Notre Dame had 167.
and then somebody was like, yeah, but they have 30,000 kids
Yeah.
going there. And I was like, oh, well, then that's really not that bad to have
Step your
500
game
cases.
up, Alabama.
And then it was like, Radford had 300 some cases and 10,000 kids. And I was like,
Yeah.
now that's how it's done right there.
Because I think the population's 4,000 people for Radford, and you're at not quite 11 for the
Yeah,
students.
we had like 28 cases in the whole city
and then
until we showed up. Yeah, it's like,
we're here to take this over.
oh, good, the students are back.
Yeah, I was
With
going to say
their-
the students like run that town, right?
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's a college town.
I mean,
Through and through.
through and through. They don't really have much there. You know, there's not a whole lot of economy in Radford that doesn't run around the students. In fact,
Is the town called Radford?
yep. City of Radford. That's how we roll. But like everything there is around Radford outside of like very few businesses. But even those, everything is tied to the school
Yeah.
somehow. The only place I knew that really didn't get a lot of money was a place called the Sportsman. And the Sportsman was down. You had to go down this road. It was Main Street at one time, and then it just turns into nothing and keeps going out into the woods. And then you get down near the river, and you can hook a little right, and you go down. It's right along the water there. And so I guess actually the point of my story was to say that they're not sustained by students, but then again, it was the only place that would sell 18-year-old version of me, 19-year-old version of me, beers.
Nice.
So I would go in there, and they didn't ask any questions. Now they
Yeah.
did do the standard upcharge on the old cash register. It'd be like chikink, and like a $5 charge would come up. Like all the
Yeah.
things would flip around, and it'd have a $5 charge. And they'd be like, what can I help you with? And you'd be like, cool, he's not checking my ID. That much is certain, because I just saw a $5 charge for literally nothing. And then they would ring you up. But that place was amazing.
Oh, they would literally just hit you up for an extra $5 of whatever you were buying.
They'd see your 19-year-old ass walk up, drop a case of Natty Light on the counter, and they would go, chukunk, $5, and they would say, is that all? And then they would ring it up.
Yeah.
And that was just how they operated. And then they had things, though, that you couldn't find.
I wonder how they wrote that. Like, I'm thinking of the logical, like, logistically, that'll show up on your, forms or whatever. So, like, I wonder how they, like, wrote that out. Well, yeah, I guess an old cash. If it was literally an old cash register.
Yeah, no, literally, like, flick, 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 flick. It was old school. And it was all cash.
Yeah, they're keeping a notebook. There's nothing electronic.
Yeah.
But that place was...
It's like, we had $25 charges today, so back out $100 in your pocket.
That place had it all, though. I remember walking through there.
I'm sorry. It's called the Sportsman. I was assuming it's a sports bar, but you're telling me it's like a convenience store?
It's more like a bait shop convenience store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, definitely had baits and, like, fishing poles and, like...
styrofoam coolers. And
yeah, like, you can... hunting gear, lanterns, like
camping stuff,
this or just the stuff people from Radford actually need, like coal.
Yeah,
but they also had stuff like you would walk down the aisle and be like, "Ooh, lawn darts!"
Yeah,
like things that had been outlawed for 20 years. They would have for sale there. Like it was the first time I'd ever seen lawn darts, and I was like, this seems like a really cool game. You're throwing these gigantic darts in the air, and you try to land them in a ring.
Catch them. Wait, what?
And then it was like a year later, I found out that those had been outlawed in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were killing kids at a tremendous rate, just throwing these things in the air. But the Sportsman had all the stuff that was like no longer around. It was
That's
insane.
awesome.
You could find booze in there that hadn't been made in 5 years. You were like, oh, perfect. Like you could pick up Zimas when Zimas were gone because they just had a connection to everything underground.
Yeah. I used to go to a couple shady joints, and you go like, and you buy the case of beer that had been cut with a razor blade in half and package tape.
Package tape.
Yeah.
I always like that because I can see what's in it.
Well,
how does that work? How can you do that legally?
You can't. I mean,
but even my little shop over here I go to sells 12 packs of Bud Light in like a 12-pack ring holder.
Yeah, he's not supposed to do that.
They're cutting the case in half as in
But how do they
the front?
Like, what doesn't an ABC person show up and go, "Hey, that's
if they come through"? I mean, the thing is, like, what's the chances ABC is going to come through Podunk nowhere?
But this is one right here by my house sells them like that all day.
And then how many places sell alcohol, and how many agents are out there?
I don't know any of these facts. I don't know any of this.
Yeah, but
I would say a lot and not a lot.
But I would say
that's fair.
That's not Podunk, little convenience store though.
No, that's why I'm shocked. Like that's.
There's a little bit of cloud around that store. They're going to keep people from. They let them do whatever they want to do.
I guess so. No, the Sportsman was a special kind of place.
Nice.
Stu, does that place still exist?
That's what I just looked at it. It's still got 3.7 on Yelp, and it's a little restaurant, bait shop, still working right there underneath 81. Right if you go off the
road
river.
trip.
Any reviews that are worth noticing?
It wasn't worth. No, it wasn't. I shut it down. But yeah,
Nothing
it's still
great.
in business.
I need to go to Radford with one of you guys and get the tour because I've heard about it so many times.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't look anything like what I went to.
It's completely different now.
Is it better?
Yeah, sure. Like it's nicer.
Yeah,
far nicer. We had a Chick-fil-A on campus. Now Chick-fil-A is like nothing. Like they got so much stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of that stuff. We had a Mean Gene's Burgers. It was Mean Gene Okerman, the guy from WWE, and he showed up, and he would show up and do like hamburger eating contests, like announcing them like wrestling. We had a buddy who was in there.
That's something.
And he got caught cheating by Mean Gene.
Oh,
had
shit.
a bunch of burgers under his seat. He was throwing them. Yeah, he got popped. He got popped by Mean Gene.
Think you're gonna slide one by old Mean Gene?
You can't
I don't
slide
think
one by.
so.
He's seen it all, man. You think he doesn't check chairs?
Yeah, you think the ref's gonna come in and get hit in the back with a chair?
Not
and
on
he's
Mean
not gonna
Gene's
see it?
watch.
No,
he sees all that. Oh no!
Yeah, it was Radford redid their entire food court, quote unquote, and the upgrade was we had the McDowell's of McDonald's. Like,
yeah, that's the kind of stuff you would get.
Stuff was in there was a knockoff.
It would look, except for Chick-fil-A. The first Chick-fil-A I ever had was there, And I was like, oh, what? I wonder what this is a knockoff of because this
Yeah.
tastes great. Turns out that was the first real thing because everything else was like McDowell's instead of McDonald's.
Wow.
It was pretty special.
I can see why y'all are all proud.
Well, now if you go there, you'd be like, I see why you're proud. And
Yeah.
we'll just shake our head. Yes, exactly. It's always been like this.
Yeah, VCU changed a lot from the time I started there until what it is now. That's for damn sure.
Final Four fixed you guys good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't hurt.
That helps. I mean, that helps, man. That sports will put you on the map, and
Yeah.
money comes rolling in.
Yep.
It's insane.
My freshman year, the food court, if you had your student ID and were of age, even if you weren't of age, you could get a pitcher of beer at the hot dog place.
I mean, how crazy is that? On campus,
Yeah.
they were serving booze. I had an office on campus for a year.
An office?
I actually had a physical office on campus.
For what?
I was the Interfraternity Council president.
Oh, the IFC
Oh, yeah,
president.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
they did have offices.
So I was the president of all the fraternities. I couldn't become the president of my fraternity because they all knew me. But I was the president of all the fraternities. But I had been propped up. I got tapped.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, man, we need you to come in and give a speech that you want to be the IFC president. I was like, I don't want to be the IFC president. Like, what the hell? Like, every week I got to go there and, like, preside over meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but we kind of need you. They're like, you're well-spoken, and everybody knows you. Like, and we need help. Like, the university's cracking down on fraternities. They were like, we need someone who can get in. I got just basically placed. I went in. I started working on my speech at like 2:00. I was in there delivering it at 4:00. I was voted in by 5:00. I'd only lived this dream for 2 hours, 3 hours before I was the new president. I was like, well, now what do I have to do? But I got it. It was good. I rewrote the Constitution. I fixed some things.
Wow.
Yeah, I got some stuff done. But I had an office.
Were you untouchable by all the other fraternities now that you were the IFC president?
I certainly never paid for a party.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like for that seat, for that year.
You didn't want to piss them off.
Yeah, I'd walk into a party. They'd be like, we can't be having this party. We'd be like, just let him in and
Yeah.
have him drink. He'll be fine. Then he's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, guys, don't worry. I'll do whatever you hand me.
Yeah.
I'll make sure you know I'm on the up and up.
Yeah.
Like always like an undercover guy kind of trying to prove I'm cool. What do I need to do? Dance with your girlfriend and chug this beer? Done. I'll do it.
I hear stories because VCU didn't do that where you could charge at the door. None of our parties ever work like that. So it always, like, whenever I hear tales of people charging at the door, I'm like, that seems like it's made for ABC or police or somebody to bust. Because you were literally like, having a party is cool, but making money on said party, that's where Uncle Sam wants to rake some off the top.
Yeah, so we used to do it where the fraternity would pay for it. The money would come out of the coffers. We would go buy the 60 cases of beer, load them up in the bars, and then the money would come back in, and then the money would go into the coffers.
Yeah.
And so the fraternity was getting good money, and they could afford to do things, you know? Well, then one year the cops started to cut down on everything, and they would show up and they'd bust the parties. And when it was discovered that it was the fraternities making the money, fraternities started getting kicked off campus.
Yeah.
Things started falling apart. So then they were like, oh, no, it's not you guys that are in trouble. It's your fraternity. And then the letters would go to nationals, and the nationals would be like, you're on probation.
Yeah.
So we had to stop that shit. But so then everyone was like, well, then how are we going to throw the parties? This just happened to be the year I was living in the fraternity house.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what if it's not a fraternity house? What if it's just our house?
Yeah.
And we put up the cash, and we keep the money, and we take all the risk. Like, it's not a fraternity sanctioned thing.
Yeah.
If the cops show up and bust us.
But wasn't there a thing that, like, if you had an X number of fraternity guys together, it was
Insurance
deemed a
kicks in.
fraternity party? Like, if it was like 10 of you guys.
That's off.
Yes, but we had no letters on the house
Yeah.
at this point. Like, we just took all that down. We just, like, everyone knows it is, but you can't prove it. It's a private party by these dummies who all happen to be in the fraternity.
Yeah.
And, man, that year was crazy because
you got to keep the profits of the fraternity didn't give you the profits.
if
They
we
tried
were,
to keep the profits. They would gamble it away later in the evening.
that was the problem. That was the problem. But, like, if we
Because
needed...
it wasn't your money.
No. If you're a college kid, right? There's 5 of you living in the house, and each one of you is handed $200, $250 at the end of the night. that's more money than you know what to, and you're hammered, right? Because you were the first one there.
Yeah.
Now you're still there.
You haven't left.
So now you got $250 in your pocket, and you've taken all the risk. It's over. And so what do? You pay out the DJ. That was all after DJ's paid, beers paid for. It was always profit like that. And so we would just sit around and throw craps like all night long.
Until you had no money.
Yeah. Until somebody had a lot of money.
Yeah.
And someone else had no. We had this one DJ we stopped hiring because this son of a bitch would come over. We'd pay him. Then he'd come upstairs with his payment, take all of our money.
He had loaded dice.
And then leave. We'd be like, dang, man, like that dude is fantastic at this. So, but yeah, we had a lot of fun taking
we
that
would just
risk.
buy we would buy 100 cases of beer for each, we'd have 3 big parties a semester, and then our weekly Thursday parties, every brother would bring a case of beer, and then all the girls would get in for free, and every dude that wanted to show up had to get bring in a 12-pack.
That's a great way to do it.
And then we would take that 12-pack and put it behind the bar, and we give out the Natural Light and drink the better beer for us.
So some schmuck shows up with Heineken, you're like, yes.
Yeah.
So the cases came about because of the keg law. We used to just be able to buy a keg, and you just said, I'm 21, I'm buying a keg. And then the keg law goes into effect and says, you got to put the address of where you're taking this keg.
Yeah, and that's when they would just show up to the address.
Well, luckily, where we had the parties, Brendan, the convenience store was less than 75 feet away.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah.
We could just refill at any time. And they'd show up. They'd be like, we would get the dude from the convenience store showing up at the house, and they'd be like, hey, man, our beer order's coming in tomorrow. How many cases you guys going to need? And we'd be like, oh, perfect. Add another 100 cases to your order. Yeah. And it would show up. And then if you didn't have a party, that dude would be like, yo, man, I have 100 cases here. Like, you got to have a party. We'd be like, oh, okay.
Well, I told you where our fraternity house was. It was literally from the pallet house to your house to 7-Eleven.
That's how ours was.
We had a backyard. We'd make the pledges stand in a line and just shovel the cases down into the house.
Well, on the other side,
beautiful. No one had to walk.
On the other side, just as close, there was a place called Wings.
I know Wings.
Okay. And Wings, that's where we would get our cases from. And he'd give us $8 cases of Natural Light.
Oh yeah, no. There were times where we were in economies of scales.
And then if somebody showed up without beer, it'd be like, you know where 7-Eleven is. Take your ass over there and get some beer.
Isn't that crazy that you can buy beer at that price and they're still making money?
Oh yeah,
because I think we were paying in the $5 range at one point, and I was just like, this is a case of beer.
Yeah,
like how's anyone making money? And they must have just been like, we'll make the $1.
Yeah, it was
knowing
a case of beer.
A guarantee.
It was a case of beer below $10.
Oh, there were definitely
$7.99 somewhere in that range.
There were kegs of beer for $32.99 with cups and ice.
2 bags of ice,
Southpaw
sleeve of cups.
Light.
Yep.
Which was
real
fine beer. That is a fine beer. But yeah, that would make for some interesting nights for like college kids with money that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
Can you get a keg of beer today anywhere for less than $40?
Hell,
absolutely
no.
not.
Not even less than $100.
Because I'm trying to think. Natural Light's what, 70?
Yeah, about 60, high 60s.
No, I want to say it's like 79 or something. I mean, by the time the tax title tags and you're out the door.
I think it's 69, and then you pay for the cheapest keg that I can find.
Look it up on Total Wine. See what they say.
Actually, no, what though? Because I live in a quarter keg world, so my numbers are probably way off.
I'm thinking you're wrong. I'm thinking it's well over $100.
It could be closer to $100. Yeah,
for a half keg.
It's brutal. Beer costs too much.
Beer has gone way high.
Beer's gone too high.
Yeah.
The beer prices are too damn high.
Yep.
Can't deal with this.
Paying way too much for water.
Crazy.
Holy shit.
I ended up this weekend I got screwed by our boy Josh.
Oh, really?
Because he turned us on to the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
And I have been obsessing with getting to the Appalachian Trail ever since that episode.
Yep.
Like, it's just been on my mind. And so this past weekend, I finally just said, screw it. I'm going to the Appalachian Trail. And I made it happen. I got down there.
Did you walk some of it?
I did.
Nice.
I did. So a couple buddies, we decided to load up trucks and drive on up there because I'm not going to walk the Appalachian Trail. In fact, I walked it for a few minutes. And the immediate thought that I had when I got there and I started walking it was, I would never want to walk this from Maine, from Georgia to Maine, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like it's too far.
You got beer price update for us?
Just
Sue?
the lowest one is $86 at Total Wine for Lion's Head. Natural Light's $119 for the half keg.
Yep.
Natty Bow, $90 though. There's your answer.
PBR $109.
Yeah, Natty Bow's your answer.
Natty Bohemian.
That's crazy.
That's well.
Is that Narragansett for $109?
That's not bad.
Narragansett, yeah.
There's the best deal in
Yeah.
kegs.
$150 for a Budweiser.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed that Narragansett's that cheap. It makes me rethink my love of Narragansett. Like, geez. But yeah, we went up there, man. It was really cool. Josh inspired me
Yeah.
with that. Like,
What
I wanted to
what
see
part of the
it.
trail were you at?
So I don't really know precisely. I would say just outside of Lynchburg.
Okay.
So I'd been plotting this for weeks to like do this journey where
It was like an off-road adventure, right?
I found that Onyx off-road app I've talked about on the air. I got that, and basically it shows you every public trail that you can ride in the country.
In your vehicle.
Yeah, like you're allowed to be on. And so
Is it like for four-wheelers too, or like, I guess it's anything, right?
yeah, so it has like 4 different rankings of the trails. You can say, I just want overland, and overland is going to be doable in a truck that anybody has. Then you
Yeah.
have Jeep trails, which is like you have to have like 4 inches of lift, all that kind of
Gotta
stuff.
be a
And then,
douche.
Does it end with like rock crawlers?
then they have ATVs,
So that's like
That's
smaller,
a smaller
narrower
trails.
trails.
4-wheelers,
Yeah.
and then you have motorcycles,
Yeah.
which
Oh.
is like I can get in between.
A glorified bike trail.
I can get in between anything if I need to. Yeah. And so I was just going through and finding like overland trails, things
Yeah.
that like we could do. And man, I'm shocked.
Because you took the Miata, right?
I did. I did. I put bigger tires on it,
Yeah. He's not stupid.
and it's still super quick.
Yeah.
But so yeah, no, took the
Had
old.
that turbo humming.
That's right. Took that old 4Runner out there though, and our buddy Nick, he took his 4Runner, and his is stock, like it's like an 09, so
Yeah.
it's decades newer, but stock, and mine's like got a little bit of a lift and different. I thought I was going to eat this guy's lunch, you
Yeah.
know? And we go out on these trails, and I found this one that is, yeah, see, that's dope, Stu. He's looking at lifted Miatas over there. Those are cool. And
For the manly hairdresser out there.
exactly right.
Jeez.
So
Little freaking
I found this
golf
one
cart.
trail. I found these 2 trails that go into an area where I had determined, based on like going into people's forums and different things, I was like, all right, there's camping in these areas. We're just going to find camping. And then I found this one trail that went straight up the mountain.
Uh-oh.
It went from
Nice.
about 500 feet elevation to 3,500 feet elevation
Oh, wow.
in 11 miles, like of just switchback right up the mountain.
Nice.
So I was like, oh yeah, that should be a cakewalk. Let's do that.
It does sound fun.
Yeah, so that was the end. And the reason I chose this area is because the Appalachian Trail crisscrossed all of these roads multiple times over and over. So I was like, I will get to the trail.
Yeah.
I'll get to like see where Josh hung. Dude, we got out on that trail, and I mean, first we had to get there. So Google Maps ends at one point, and then my off-road app picks up. I had everything downloaded. We were pretty well buttoned
So you
up.
could go offline.
Yeah,
with the
everything
map.
was downloaded.
Nice.
So I was like, and thank God, because turns
I
out
was gonna say you
there's
probably lose a signal.
0 reception. And this was a 2-day adventure that we were supposed to do, but Hurricane Laura was coming in,
Oh, yeah.
and Hurricane Laura was supposed to hook a right and then come literally straight through Virginia on Saturday. So we were a little concerned about that, because one of the guys that was going with us, young Jimmy, he was like, look, man, when I was in Asheville, like, we had a hurricane come through, and it didn't really do much to the coast, but by the time it got to the mountains, the way it dumps when you get in the mountains and the
Yeah.
way the
Yeah.
wind whips when you're that high up, like, it's totally, you don't know what you're going to come across. You don't know what's
Yeah.
going to happen. But he was hearing stories about guys that had gotten caught in mudslides,
Well, we were
trees down on roads, like you cannot get out.
Yeah.
we were supposed to have a bunch of weather on Saturday because of that, but it didn't happen here in Richmond.
That's right, Stu. That's exactly right.
So what are you telling me?
So, well, up there's a different world, right? You're on the mountain. So we had decided we were going to call Saturday Like, we weren't going to do Saturday.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to get caught in a tropical storm up on top of a mountain, and then trees go down. You can't get out. You're stranded.
Because y'all had planned Friday, Saturday, and come back Sunday. It was a 2-night thing.
Correct. And we had actually multiple spots. So actually, we were supposed to be in a very different part. But when the weather came, I was like, hey, let's go to day 2's trails. I want to do that because I wanted the Appalachian Trail. So we went there. We did this. Man, we're coming up that mountain. And there's spots on that mountain where obviously sun doesn't get because there's still rain. The rain hasn't even come yet.
Yeah.
And you're crossing over big old mud puddles and different things. We got to this one point where this crossing, I was like, oh, I don't think. And I've been in 2-wheel drive the whole way. And then I get to this point and I'm like, I think I'm going to have to put this in 4 because of that. I don't even know that I can do that. Like, I don't see how I'm going to get over this.
Was it wet?
It was wet. It was rocky. It was jagged. There was areas that were just nothing but mud that were like 3 feet below the track on the right that was going up over rocks. I was like, this isn't really a good situation for me.
You don't have a winch on your 4Runner, do you?
Nah, winches are for
Did
suckers.
Nick have one?
No.
Was your 4-wheel drive fixed previously? Remember you had some issues?
Yeah, I took care of all that leading up to it.
Okay.
So I throw this bad boy in 4.
Bad boy.
And so I'm like, now I can crawl over anything.
Yeah.
I enter into this pit area with the rocks, and I don't know what the hell happened, but my car decided to make a sound that I can't describe as anything less than tank, 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 tank. And I mean,
from the motor?
From underneath. That's all I know.
Oh, your seltzer can gave out.
No, I already fixed that. Dude, so I hear this tank, 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 and you hear it
Loud.
reverberate down through the holler, up through the mountains, tank, 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 back at me, like echoing. I'm like, holy shit, and I'm completely stuck, and it won't move. I'm like, what the hell have I done? And so I come backing up, tank, 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 tank. Back up, I'm like, well, here we are, 15 minutes into the first trail, and I'm out.
There's my day, yeah.
We're at 1,000 feet. I've got 2,500 more feet to go. I'm out. I don't know what the hell was wrong with that thing. I think maybe I didn't put it in 4 properly. And so when it finally came under stress, like it came apart, and like it was just grinding in there. That's the only thing I can think. Or the suspension, because I haven't used the suspension since I put it on. Was settling and snapping and cracking and screaming, but it sure sounded like I was dragging metal through rocks. It was
sounded like something was spinning around the drive shaft or something.
I pulled out and I did the first thing. I revved my engine so I could, because I've done that before. Snapped a drive shaft. And I was like, I'll rev the engine. I'll hear it go tung 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 tung. I'll know that's what was it. But it didn't do it. So I was like, what the hell? We got out. We looked at it. We examined it. Like Nick comes around the corner and he's like, what the hell has happened? And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, we were like 200 yards back and it sounded like that was my truck. I was like, that's not a good sign.
No. So
he comes up. We're looking. We're exploring every inch of it. We could not find anything wrong with it.
But so it made the noise when you backed up, though?
It stopped doing it after I backed up for a little bit, and I was being told that sometimes you have to put it in reverse to get 4-wheel drive to engage properly.
Okay. So I've heard that. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, but I've never done that. I've never had an issue. Maybe that was the case.
Put it in reverse, back up 10 feet, then put it in forward.
Yeah.
Get everything locked up.
Yeah.
Well, after I backed up, I was able to climb up that craziness and make it happen. So thank goodness.
It didn't make the noise anymore.
It was making the noise, but on a lesser level.
Uh-huh.
And after another mile or two, I never heard it again. So I'm like, all right, I just worked it out. It was one of those things like, I just worked through it.
Self-repair.
Yeah. No problem.
Where's the 4Runner right now?
In the driveway.
Okay.
You walked by it.
Yeah, no, I'm back. Like, it made it. But there was a moment there where I honestly thought, that's it.
That's scary.
Like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's a ravine to my right. I'm stuck on this trail with no one around except down folk.
Funny that your Navigator has a dope-ass off-roading truck and you have a 40-year-old
My Navigator
Ford
literally
banger.
has a Ford Raptor in his driveway. And he was like, I'm not taking that up there. That's crazy talk. But I straight abused my truck all the way up that thing. Made it. It was awesome. And then we went shopping for camping sites. Like anytime we saw a turnoff, I would just drive up whatever hill and see what was there. We ended up finding a camping site directly on the water, like with a big old pond, spring-fed pond with a couple waterfalls going into it.
Oh, nice.
And the only way to get to it, though, this was the sketchy part, was like you had to go over a couple boulders and then just go down the wall. Where like the water had like rushed along, so it was probably like 15 feet down. And I was like, I can make it. And when I went in, I was babying that bitch, like trying to get down in there.
Yeah.
Got down in there, though, no issues. Parked the cars. And then, dude, his stock 4Runner took it. Just everything we crossed that I was like, he'll never make it. I was like, why do I spend this money on this truck?
Yeah.
Any old 4Runner will do that.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked at what his truck can do. And so, got down in there, had a great spot. We're down there swimming like a bunch of men. In the spring-fed pond.
4
area,
dudes in a spring together.
Some dude comes down. He's like, "Hey, just so you guys know," and we're like, "Why is there a dude here in nowhere?"
I own this watering hole.
Yeah, we thought we were getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Like we'd set up all of our stuff. We were like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah, I guess you weren't expecting to see anyone.
No, we hadn't seen anyone forever. So it's like, so this dude goes walking down with his dog. He's like, "Excuse me." And I'm like, "Oh, he hates Bruce Springsteen." And then he came over and he's like, "Just so you guys know, there's a mama bear about 500 yards that way with 2 cubs, and she's coming straight to you." We were like, shit, that's not good.
Yeah.
So we were like, we would always have like one dude standing up on the rocks, kind of watching. We never saw the bear get here, which was good. So then like we went back to the campsite, started setting up for the night.
Do you think he just said that?
No, I don't think so.
Did you even ask him where he came from? Like, hey.
Well, no. So actually, when I'd been out collecting
Aren't
wood,
y'all in the middle of a park?
but when I was out collecting wood, I actually saw the dude walking down the road because I had walked way up by the road, so he knew we were down there. Because he was walking by, and I was like, "How you doing?" He was like, "Hello." I kept going, and it must have been 30 minutes later. He was walking back, and he's like, he like came down and started hollering. He's like, "Just so you know," so he was doing good deeds. But then we were standing down on the campsite after that, kind of just getting our stuff together, drinking beers, having fun. And then I just see Nick pull one of those. And then his face went like ghost white. And I'm like,
oh, no.
I'm like, what's up with that? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just shit in my pants. I'm like, nah, man, you didn't shit in your pants. And then he did the telltale waddle. You know what I mean? Like he was like, we'll see. And then he turned around and like with all the bravery he could muster, just like did the slinky waddle like back into the woods. And we're like
stiff-legged trot.
Because I thought he was joking, but when you see that walk is the sign of like, I'm not kidding here, guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's what sealed our fate the next day because he was like, well, I'm out of clothes. Like he was down to the dude was literally wearing sweatpants and new underwear. And he was like, well, we can't have any more mistakes. And he was furious because he was like, he's like, I took an Imodium today. He's like, that shouldn't even be possible. And I was like, well, why'd you take an Imodium? He was like, just so this wouldn't happen. I was like, so you literally just preemptively took an Imodium? He's like, absolutely, dude. He's like, I'm out in the woods. The last thing I wanted to do was crap. So I figured I'd just back up the system. And he's like, could you imagine if I hadn't taken the Imodium? I was like, you know what? That's a fair point.
Plans
dude.
to back up the system for a weekend.
This is how the dude thinks. This is how he's one of those people that there's a pill to fix the problem. You know what I mean? So he was like, yeah.
I don't feel so bad.
That's some advanced prepping right there.
Like he left the house this morning and went, don't want to shit in the woods. He doesn't think I'm going to bring toilet paper. He thinks I'll just back up the system.
I'll just shit
I really
tomorrow.
don't feel so bad starting off the podcast with what I started off with now.
That's what I thought. I was like, boy, should I just go now? Like that's right. I was like,
I mean, I think we all agree no one likes shitting in the woods, but I also would rather shit in the woods than like be backed up for fucking 48 hours.
And then get home and be like,
yeah,
what do I do?
I was like, when was the last time you took an Imodium? He's like, probably like a year ago. And he's like, but I knew what it would do for me, so I just took it. I was like, well, good preemptive
only
strike.
known people to take Imodium when they actively have the shits.
No, he took a preemptive Imodium and then still shit in his pants.
I think it backfired on him, though. He hadn't taken it a while.
It
went the other way for him.
It didn't go well. I was just shocked because I take an Imodium. I literally won't crap for 72 hours. I won't.
Yeah.
He's out in the woods, like, just waddling away.
I don't remember last time I took Imodium. It's been
It's too powerful
years.
of a drug for me. It's like the fentanyl of diarrhea drugs.
Anti-diarrhea drugs.
Yeah, like it could kill you is how I look at it. He took a preemptive, and honestly, he could have died had he not. Because who knows how much fluid he would have lost.
True.
Out in the woods drinking beer. He would have died in George Washington National Forest.
I love that he didn't pack any, like, when I go anywhere, I pack what I think I need and then at least one extra thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he had the extra thing. It just wasn't. Yeah, I guess he didn't overpack at all. Yeah, because he was like, this is it. Now he looks like he's like Plaxico Burress in a strip club. He's got sweatpants on.
Well, he always wears sweatpants. At least over here he does.
Yeah,
the dude, but he had his shorts on and everything. No, they were ruined.
That's too funny.
It was sweatpants from here on out.
He didn't take him out in the spring and wash them off?
That's what everybody thought. Like, why don't you just wash it off? He's like, we'll be fine.
That's a freshwater spring you could drink out of.
I think so.
You can't do that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you don't want to typhoid it. But yeah,
downstream. You drink upstream, wash your shit off downstream.
So that was a inauspicious start for him to the camping.
Did you tell him you were going to tell this story?
No. No, he wouldn't agree with me telling this story. Why would I mention it?
But the story ends because now the bear smells it.
Yeah,
and it's coming over.
So basically,
fast as shit.
We got down there. So I mean, I don't blame him for one. Like, we got down there. The first thing we're told is, "Hey, there's a bear with its mom right there. One of your trucks is going tank to tank, 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 tank." Yeah. And this dude's covered in shit. Like, I don't know that you guys are built for this. And there's part of me that's starting to agree. You know,
maybe he's just a one-nighter.
He's just like, have a nice day. I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy yourself.
And then I think the straw that broke the camel's back is I've been talking shit all day because he has an Arctic cooler. So in the back of his truck is an Arctic. In the back of my truck is I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeti.
Yeti.
Yes. So I've got the Yeti. He's got the Arctic, and he's like, "You're a sucker," and I'm going. Everyone's heard my speech. Like, if you build something that looks exactly like something else, you're a bitch. I was telling him, I was like, would you go buy a fake Rolex, even if it works just as well? No, you want the Rolex. If you have a fake Rolex, you know you have a fake Rolex. Well, if they make it look like it, then that's my whole concern. Like, I like the igloos. They look different. They hold ice just as long. Get the igloo.
Yeah.
Get anything that looks different.
Yeah.
So I'm busting his balls, and he's like, it doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't. It's the exact same thing. He's like, you're the sucker. So he was like, how much ice you got in your cooler right now? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't, I've just been using the cooler. I haven't been thinking about it. He's like, when did you fill yours up? And I was like, actually, I filled mine up yesterday. I went and bought beer around like 4 o'clock, filled it into my cooler, dumped all the ice in then. And I haven't put ice in since. And he's like, what kind of prep did you do? I said, before I left for the grocery store, I threw an ice pack in there just to kind of bring it up to temp. And he's like, okay, well, I actually did a full bag of ice.
He did?
Yeah. He's like, I did a full bag of ice and then drained it. So his cooler was prepped better than mine, technically, right?
Yeah, that was some of the tricks that I'd read we shared years ago about.
Yeah.
That's how you do
prep.
it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
You're supposed to have a sacrificial bag of ice.
So he'd done the sacrificial bag. I'd done the sacrificial ice pack.
Yeah.
And
you're supposed to bring it inside, get it to room temperature for a while.
Then throw the ice in.
Yeah.
So we get out there, and he's like, what do you got? He opens up his, and he's like, he dumps his hand in. He's like, I've got this much water, this much ice. And I'm like, that's pretty good. We opened mine. I'm not kidding. We moved it all the way to the bottom. There was no water. It was still all ice. I'd never seen this man was more furious about this
than not having any clothes.
Yeah. He was like, that is amazing. He's like, it's actually worth it. It's actually worth it. But then later on,
I was going to say, I have questions. Yeah. What were y'all cooling off in there? And was what you put in there already cool to start with or not?
That's where I've got him.
Yeah.
Because, well, he did have cold beer, but he had thrown some cold beer in it. Mine was just ice.
Yeah.
So but I did have food in mine.
Yeah.
So, like, I had a gap at the top and all the food there, but mine didn't have beers in it.
Yeah.
But still, the difference was so noticeable. Like, there's still, that cooler was packed on Thursday. It's Monday night. There's still ice in there.
Yeah.
And I've been dumping hot beers in it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So He was pissed. And at first he really was like, it's just better. It's just better. He was devastated.
Yeah.
You know? But then by the end of the night, he's like, if you had put beers in there, it wouldn't even be close. But now I feel like I don't want to do a challenge because I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
But I feel like I might have to.
I am curious.
I feel
now.
more confident now than I ever have because I dominated.
I am curious about that because I thought I'd read, where they done Arctic versus Yeti challenges and kind of come up that it was the same as a wash.
It comes out as a wash.
Yeah.
The K2s, the Yetis, the Arctics, the Pelican, the Orcas.
Pelicans. There's
Orcas.
Pelicans and Orcas.
Yeah, it's all pretty much the same.
Or you just buy a liner for your Coleman and be good to go.
You buy a liner for your bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, I learned something. So I told you guys I didn't get the Yeti bucket because it won't fit. So I just got a bucket with a rope handle, but I plasti dipped the whole thing.
Yeah.
That plasti dip.
You plasti dip the rope or the whole bucket?
The bucket.
The bucket is right there.
Yeah.
It's anthracite gray
I
now.
haven't seen it.
Okay.
Which is a dope ass color.
Anthracite.
So it doesn't sweat like it used to.
Oh, so I guess
keeps everything on the inside.
The plastic dip is plastic.
It
so
created an insulation.
Yeah,
it created like a rubber barrier. It doesn't sweat as much as it used to. I filled it with ice at noon on Friday, and I was pulling beers out of little bits of ice still floating in the water at midnight.
Nice.
That's a whole day of it sitting in the bed of the truck,
so
getting sun on it.
If you put multiple coats on it,
I think
better.
you just make it even stronger.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
You better trademark this shit now.
Well, he's not the first person.
Trademarked. Plastic dip buckets. Yeah, but
Let me see that thing. Hold that thing up. Because that.
So the next morning, it started
is
raining.
It full? Oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it looks nice. You put a little plastic dip on it, but what I didn't realize that I would get that much of an insulating property.
Yeah.
It actually makes this a usable cooler.
Well, especially being in the back of your truck. You don't want it sweating everywhere.
I never actually looked at it, but now I know why the rope is more than the bucket itself.
Oh, the rope is nice.
It's the whole upgrade. It's the whole upgrade. There's those stupid handles on your Lowe's bucket, which that is just a Lowe's bucket, basically. Yeah. But it's not cold now, and it's been days. What do you expect? Is beating the Yeti? It's a bucket.
Yeah.
But it does have plastic dip on it.
The only weird design on that bucket insert is it should have something on the bottom. That is so weird. It's got mesh across the bottom.
Yeah, they say it so you can pull it out and all the water's still in the bucket. But I hear you. You would said a grommet of sorts would make even more sense.
Yeah.
But
my question is, an inch of foam down there would really help.
Go a long way.
Yeah.
Long way.
Sorry,
how much are you into this for this bucket?
Under $50.
So,
but it's a $30 insert for a $3 bucket. Like everyone should look at it as a $33.
But my question is, do you think the $49 Yeti bucket will function just the same as what you've invested in this?
No, absolutely not. They say right on their website it's not insulated. It will not.
Well, it's insulated on the walls, it's not insulated on the bottom.
It's not insulated on the walls. It's just thicker. It's just a lot thicker.
Oh, that's right.
But that doesn't translate to insulation.
Gotcha. It's not vacuumed like the regular Yetis.
Yeah. So that night,
I'm like, your whole product line is about.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Removing the air.
I'm shocked. It's not
why
an
would you not do
bucket.
that? Like,
it's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
It's larger than a 5-gallon bucket as far as height and width, and it's not insulated in any way.
Yeah,
that's disappointing.
It's the first time. Well,
I would not buy a Yeti bucket.
No.
I never would.
But I think maybe it's not the first time, but I think it's the first time that I can think of that Yeti's just saying, we can literally put the logo on anything and sell it.
Oh,
no,
yeah, for sure.
It's indestructible. It's got so many features that other buckets don't have.
Well, I'll tell you what they've done. You saw pictures. They turned it into the Jeep of buckets.
Yeah, it's a utilitarian tool.
And it's like, yeah, you can buy the regular one. We also sell 200 options that you could trick it out to make it your own.
Yes. So now you have a $100 bucket that can replace your $15 camp chair.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's amazing how quickly
various lids and inserts and
you should just plastic dip a regular bucket.
Yeah,
always said it.
Boom.
So we did,
or buy two $3 buckets and use the second bucket as the insulator.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I like it.
Put a little foam in between the two.
Even better.
Drop it down in.
Glue them together. Insert them in.
I've seen they make styrofoam inserts that just fit in a bucket. That actually seems like the way to go. If you ask me, but that's not how I roll.
Actually, all you need to do is get an inch of styrofoam and cut it out in a circle and just shove it at the bottom of this bucket.
I know this doesn't really make for
then I'd be set.
Good pod, but Is this for bears?
Yeah, they're insulated koozies all around
all the way
market.
around?
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. Which is just super useful as trash. Haul your trash back up.
Put your empties in.
Gotcha.
That's how I've used it the entire
That
time.
way you're opening it up less.
Exactly. So we did the camp trip for the whole night. I know, but I'm almost done. So we
Are we getting to Sunday?
at night it started pouring, right?
Oh, yeah, you had
So
your
it's-
new tent.
Yeah, so it actually worked well. So it was pouring down at night. So like we have our big 10x10 tent up over us, like as we're sitting by the campfire, and it's not pouring hard enough that it's putting out the fire, but we're under it, so we're staying dry.
Like a pop-up tent.
Yeah, but we're like, damn it, man! Like this thing is pouring down rain. Like this is not going well.
It's going to get crazy.
So we're thinking for sure we're screwed. Like we got to leave in the morning, and how are we going to get up that rock face?
Yeah.
Because it's slippery as hell to get
So
out
wait,
of
you
this.
went down knowing you had to go back up?
Yeah, as soon as we got down there, we were like, I don't
That's
know
the
how
only-
we're going to
that's the
get
only
out if
exit.
it rains. Yeah, that's the only exit.
Oh.
So it's pouring down through the night, and we're thinking, I guess that storm is coming, and it came early. We're screwed. We have no reception, no way to check this, you know. So sleep through the night. Actually, before we went to bed, we did put the tent over one of our buddies' tent. He was like, hey, I bet him. I was like, hey, man, I'll move this over your tent. You just got to put it away in the morning in the rain. Thinking, I don't need it.
Yeah.
But it keeps his tent dry as can be. So he passed out early, which gave me opportunity to now hang LED lights up in there. So it was daytime underneath that tent all night long. All night long. He was like, he woke up, he's like, you motherfuckers. It's just LED lights just shining right into his screen windows. That was fun. But so it's pouring down rain. I'm waking up at like 8 in the morning and I'm kicking the giant swells of water off my tent.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm screwed. So I got up, started packing. We packed up all of our stuff.
All wet.
All soaking wet. We're all wet. We get up the rock face, surprisingly, like just nailed it. I couldn't believe it. Even the stock Forerunner just nailed it. I was like, that was impressive. So we drive out, and we notice all the other campsites, no one's moving. Like every time we came up on a campsite and there were people there.
Oh, so you actually saw people.
Yeah, like you'd go down the road, you'd see another campsite in the distance, and there's people out there.
Well, these people camping off the same trail that you're using for the app, like
Yeah, so I took the hardcore road, right? But it connects to two trails that go out two main roads, well, kind of main roads. And, like, you can wind your way back into here, and those are easy to ride. Like, you could take anything back there.
Yeah.
We passed a minivan at one point.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what are you doing out here? And
front-wheel drive.
yeah. So we were like, what do they know? You know what I mean? Like, the rain's stopping as we're driving through the woods, and they're all just sitting there sipping coffees. We're like, what the fuck? We get out. As soon as we get out and get reception, the white knight's next to me, and he checks his app. He's like, bro, look at this radar. And I'm looking. There's literally not a cloud.
Yeah.
There's not any rain. There's nothing. And so I'm like, guys, we should go back or, like, go find another site. And they're all like, you know, Nick doesn't have any pants. So he's like, I'm going home.
details.
Everyone else we're with, they're all like, we're done. Like,
Let's just call it.
everything's soaking wet. We've already loaded it into the trucks. Let's go home. And I'm like, I've got another case of beer.
Well, and you had to load it because you were going to drive anyway. It's not
And
like
when
you were
you-
going back to the same campsite. You were going to
Exactly. That was always the plan. So I was kind of shocked that no one wanted to go back and do
because
it.
you could have swapped navigators. Like,
Yeah, we could have had more fun.
Dry out. I mean, do everything.
Yeah, dry
Just
out. Because when I got home,
wash clothes in the creek.
yeah, I still had to open up all the tents when I got home, all
Yeah.
the stuff, dry it all out, and then repack it. So it's like, I already have to do this anyway.
yeah, you could have done it that night.
Man,
Saturday night.
Saturday was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. I ended up coming home. It's like, it's noon, and I'm mowing my lawn. I was like, this is not how I envisioned my weekend. Like, this is bullshit. Even my wife got home. She goes, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
I was like,
now it makes it because I was a little confused because I saw the white knight.
yeah. Yeah, I was shocked. He was like, I got to get home. I told my wife I'd only go for one night. I was like, yeah, because one night, because we had a tropical depression.
Yeah.
Now that it's a beautiful day, I don't think she's going to be concerned that the next 48 hours are going to kill you.
Do we think that shit in the pants was planned?
Brilliant move if it was. Way to sacrifice the body.
I'm sure that's a huge sacrifice.
Sounds like 3 of them conspired against you. Like they were only going for one night.
That's how you sacrifice the body, though.
Yeah.
I can't get mad for a man who sacrifices the body.
72 hours. It ended up into what? 20.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it was brutal. Even young Jimmy didn't come because he was like, look, man, if we're going out there for one night, I'm driving all the way in from Myrtle.
yeah,
And then I gotta drive it. I'll get there in the middle of the night, pass out on your couch, wake up, drive out to the woods, get rained on for a while, and then drive home. He's like, that doesn't really sound like a great deal. I was like, I totally understand your logic. Like, that is a horrible deal.
Right.
Had we known the second day would happen, though, then it's totally worth it. We got dogged because we didn't have internet or anything.
yeah.
We didn't know, and we're not like,
So, but is this
we're
a
not
place?
tight with nature where we can be like, actually, notice the barometric, the birds are back. It's not going to happen.
But now you know. I mean, this sounds like something you should do again for a full weekend, going the same spots, like hitting those trails. Because
once I've seen
There's
the level of spots and the sheer number of spots that are out there on just this one stretch of road that we found,
Right.
I didn't even hit the other stretch that I thought was just as good, and I had like 3 other roads plotted that should have been just as good as well. When I saw what was out there, I was like, I'm back. I'm going back all the time.
I just need a 4-wheel drive.
you know he's going to lift the Miata. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll lift anything.
He's going to take the. You're going to take the Miata off, put it on top of the 4Runner.
I feel like my pilot probably
Just
could have
go for
gone
it.
anywhere your truck went.
Your pilot would not have gotten up the road up the mountain.
It's
but
all-wheel drive.
it would not have.
You don't think so?
But the other 2 roads coming in, there's nothing on those roads that. I mean, it would have been bumpy.
Yeah.
You would have had to go through some things. You would have thrown
Yeah.
some mud. You absolutely could have done it.
That's where you saw the minivans and the like.
Yeah, but even him, I was like,
Well, that's
I don't-
where I was
the
at.
pilot though, I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you got this. The minivan, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he knew this, but he only had about another mile before shit was going to go real south on his minivan. And I'm sure he figured that out pretty quickly because, like, we went out the same way he came in.
Can you turn back around?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's mostly gravel out there.
Yeah.
But, like, there's some spots where it's like, this is where minivans stop.
Yeah.
That's when you go back to the minivan and say, "Look, we went another mile, and my buddy shit his pants."
Don't go down there. There's flies everywhere. You don't want to deal with
Reeks
it.
of poo.
Tahoe could have made it, maybe.
Definitely.
Oh.
Well, actually, no. The road we came up,
Would've been
it
too
would have
heavy?
No, it's too wide. Too wide.
Too wide.
Like there was many times where you're literally looking 3,000 feet down directly off where you're riding, and so you have the option of like going through some shit you maybe don't want to scratch your paint with,
How much
or to
bigger,
go off the cliff.
How much wider is the newer 4Runner than your 4Runner?
It's less wide than the Tahoe, but it's wider than mine.
But
Yeah.
And
it
he
still
was
made-
having to stop and clear brush, and I was just riding right through brush because, well, that's plasti dipped as well.
That's
Buckets plasti dipped, trucks plasti dipped.
I
just
could
going.
redo this when
the
I get
glory
home.
of having an old vehicle.
Yeah, I didn't care about
nice.
anything.
Foot tree limbs.
Yeah,
It's not gonna
that
break-
tree limb,
it's not-
wham.
Not going to break my windshield, then I'm pushing past it.
I
Drags all the way down the side.
So you didn't
Didn't
sleep?
care.
You didn't sleep in the 4Runner?
of course, I slept in the truck.
Okay.
He had a tent, though, the tent insert.
Yeah, it just extends off the back of it
But
about
you said you got wet.
2 feet. Not in the truck. My feet. It was dripping in.
Oh,
Where
okay.
the tent's not waterproof. It's water resistant.
Yeah.
Everything in the truck
You
was
should have thrown
waterproof.
your 10 by 10 over that part of your truck.
There were too many lights hanging off of it. I wouldn't have wanted
I
that.
wanted to get some sleep.
We had sunlight LEDs up inside that thing shining directly into the tent. Like he
Was it the other navigator?
Yeah, he was pissed. He was pissed. He still brings it up. And he has like this tone about him. Like it wasn't cool or that's not what friends do. I don't get it.
I don't understand.
I think that's precisely what friends do.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like something he would do.
Oh, I know if I had been the first in bed, yeah. I won't say whose idea it was, but that dude's pretty cool whose idea it was. Can we have a deli?
Yeah, I was been wondering. We're way past deli time.
Well, unfortunately, I was in the woods.
Are there two down here? So
There's
we're
a
gonna-
6-pack.
Oh, okay.
It's in a
Oh,
box.
Nice.
This is a very exciting deli for me. I have been waiting a long time to try this. Now, full transparency, I did drink one out of another 6-pack this past weekend, but I can't recall if it was the greatest thing ever. So this is something that I have been searching for since just before COVID hit. You cannot get this in Virginia. Huge shout out to Terrence from Penny Lane Pub.
Definitely.
Called me from Ohio, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm in a place. They've got Bells." He was like, "Would you like some Oberon and some Two Hearteds?" And I was like, "Yes, I've been craving Oberons and Two Hearteds. I would love a 12-pack of each." And I said, "Now do me a favor. Do they have something called Lighthearted Ale?" Sure enough, they had the Lighthearted Ale. These were the last 2 6-packs in all of Ohio, or at least in the store he was in Ohio. But I like hyperbole.
When was the first time you tried Bells?
I mean, it's
years.
Yeah, I just remember the Two Hearted is like the quintessential IPA to me.
Yeah.
So this is their Two Hearted. Their Lighthearted Ale. This is their low cal,
110 calories, 3.7. So it's low alcohol content.
Low alcohol, low cal, low carb. This is the low cal IPA I have been dying to get my hands on. The Bell's Lighthearted Ale.
You get the full read there, Troy?
It's got 8.7 grams of carbs.
Oh God, it's carb heavy. Okay.
0 fat. This read is just proudly brewed in Michigan since 1985. We're dedicated to our mission to be independent, 100% family-owned, deeply rooted in our community, committed to the environment, and brewers of inspired beer.
Okay.
Doesn't say anything about this. But
I've wanted this more than any of the light IPAs. Like, this is the one I've been... It was like, originally I wanted Slighty Mighty and this, you know?
Let me go all stew. This box,
it's dope.
This color scheme,
it's dope.
Is fucking... I love this. It's
Dude,
like
he's stealing my thunder.
It looks like camping.
I know, he's stealing my thunder. That's all good.
I love this orange, yellow...
No, as soon as I saw the can, and I'm colorblind,
yeah.
He handed them to me, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! This is the most beautiful can I've ever seen." Like, it's got them like
it's like a 70s
retro
throwback.
70s.
Yeah.
It looks like the side of a van from the 70s.
Yeah.
Right, but this is that old school fishing boat, the outboard motor.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of a window shield, but something that's just like.
No, it's a perfect.
It's like something
this is my
the fall guy would be driving down the road drinking.
It's perfect. Like, as far as a color scheme, there's nothing cooler looking than
because it's
that.
all on a white can, so all the colors pop.
Yeah, no, this
light
thing's
yellow,
beautiful.
orange, burnt orange, green, low cal.
Yeah, this plays well together.
It's
and I like the lighthearted ale instead of the two-hearted ale. That's a good
great name. No, everything. Like, I'm telling you, I've been wanting this beer.
Now, I haven't had a two-hearted in forever, and if I have to...
I have 2 under there because I brought them out in case you wanted to taste one with it.
I don't recall if I enjoy them. I just know that it's the quintessential Bell's beer. Like, everyone loves it.
It's their flagship.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even if my opinion of it is different, I would be the outlier.
For sure. Most people agree that Bell's Two Hearted is about a perfect IPA. As far as... You know, it doesn't have the cachet of like a Pliny the Elder or one of these, but it is considered a fantastic beer. So I've had very, very high hopes for this particular beer, the Bell's Lighthearted Ale.
Let me pull one just to read the numbers to see how it compares, because I'm curious with the alcohol content and all that stuff.
Yeah, grab it. There's 2 down there.
So this is...
But the fear is that it's going to jack your palate.
3.7.
It's pretty low.
On the alcohol. It says it's
No, I'm not going to drink it. I just want to compare it.
Oh.
Like, what's the alcohol of the two-hearted?
Two-hearted.
That's a 7.0.
Yeah, it's a strong
so
beer.
It's double.
Yeah.
And it's double the carbs. And it's got double the calories. So it's pretty much double across the board. They just cut the whole thing in half.
So they just pour water in this at a 50-50 ratio?
That's what I would guess.
I mean,
that's the easiest way to do it. Be like, hey, guys, I figured it out. We don't have to overthink this.
I mean, it's literally half.
We already make two-hearted. Here's my idea.
One-hearted ale. Let's call it lighthearted ale.
Yeah.
Sold. Give me some water.
Centennial and Galaxy hops with citrus and pine aromas.
Have you guys had enough of this to give an opinion?
I think I have. It says it has a 6-month shelf life. That's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, not very
Same
long.
right there. And the funny thing is I guess lighthearted is not their original phrasing because that's the word, that phrase lighthearted is trademarked. Like it's something that's just completely different. Somebody else has got it.
Lame. Crushable.
Crushable.
Yeah, I guess a million things been called like a lighthearted comedy for,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, it's probably been around too long to own.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I think this beer is very good. I
Okay.
really like this beer. To me, it has just the right amount of hops. It's flavorful, clean, finishes like a light beer, cleans up nicely at the end. I could give this a 3.5 easily, maybe even a 4. I like this beer.
We'll get back to you because I want your final score when we'll come back around. I want to know if it's 3.5 or 4 because that's going to be significant.
So, right off the bat, it's definitely getting a full point for the entire marketing side of it.
That's
That
stew
is-
for you. There you
Just
go,
saying.
Abacus. Look, he bumped it up. He bumped it up. That's ruining the curve.
Smells like the IPA. Tastes really strong up front like an IPA, but it doesn't linger on the roof of my mouth. It goes away.
That's a little linger.
But it's not, I mean, it's not like,
No, but not to jump on your, but I feel like it has more of a linger than
It
some
does,
of the
but it
other,
doesn't have an
some of the other
offensive-
low. Yeah.
right, I'm not coated.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like some of those low-cal IPAs literally disappear.
Wash away, yeah.
Some have the flavor. This one still has some.
This one hangs back a little bit.
Little bit.
I would agree with that.
Not offensive.
I mean, I guess I'm tasting the pine. There's a tad, but I don't know.
Can is dope.
Yeah. I'm
I do
torn.
taste a little pine.
I'm
Just a
torn.
hint.
It's an interesting beer.
Because I'm not a big, 3.5. I'm definitely giving it a 3.5 because it's not something that I would drink a ton of, but I'm not offended enough to where I wouldn't have a second or a third.
Yeah, I'm real conflicted with this beer. I got to be honest.
Conflicted.
Conflicted. And I think it's one of those where
But real quick, I am skewed because I'm just liking the entire marketing.
that's fine. You said you were giving it a point for nonsense. Well, there it is.
So it's a 2.5 beer with a point for
Yeah.
the marketing.
Yeah, that's fair. So you're at a 3.5.
I'm just saying, if this beer was in a terrible can and it didn't catch my eye, no.
3 tops. 2.5 maybe.
Yeah, 2.75.
Yeah. So I tend to, and I hate to say this, but it's the best looking can
Yeah.
around. I'm not going to give it a point for that because I'm not Stu.
Yeah.
But
You're going to stick with what's inside.
I honestly, this weekend, the one I had, I took it out of the koozie because I was so
Yeah,
proud
yeah.
of how it looked. I was like, that thing is sick. Like, I'd get that hat.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'd be dope on a shirt.
Yeah. Like, it's a great looking
You
can.
put the fish hook on the hat, too.
You don't have a choice. So, as far as the low-cal
Had to be a
IPAs,
trucker
though,
hat.
Yep.
I don't think it's as good as the Deschutes Wowza. I'm
Really?
still holding that one up as the top. I was drinking a lot of daytimes this weekend because they're easy to find.
Yeah.
This falls in the daytime range. I don't like that it has 8 carbs for a low-cal
Yeah.
IPA. I don't like that the booze content is under 3.5.
Crazy low, yeah.
So
3.7, I think it was.
I thought it was 3.2.
Let me look again. 3.7.
Okay, that's not offensive. I'm good with 3.7. So I'll take that one back. I thought it was 3.2.
It's still low.
Yeah, but I thought it was 3.2, which I thought was like Mormon, like Utah
Yeah,
beer
yeah.
low, which they've even fixed
Yeah.
that law. Thank goodness.
Near
Good job.
beer.
Yeah,
Near
good job,
beer.
Utah. But I don't think it has as much flavor as I wanted it to have, and then go away as quickly as I wanted it to go away. So I'm
Oh,
actually
you want it to go away faster.
yeah for a low-cal.
Yeah.
For a low-cal.
Okay.
So I don't think it's as good as the Deschutes Wowza. This is really one of those instances where I really want to do what's not allowed and say 3.25
Yeah.
because I don't think it's a 3. It's close to it.
I don't remember what we gave the Wowza. Did they get a 4? I feel like that might have gotten 4s.
No, I think Ailey gave it a 3, I thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
I would agree with you though. It's not on the Wowza. I don't think it's as good as the Wowza.
but it's every bit as good as the daytime. But it doesn't have. I'm saying 3.25. I know that's sacrilege. I know I'm gonna catch shit for that from people, but it's a 3.25. It's better than a 3. It's not as good as 3.5. We got a 3.5, a 3.25. Either one of your scores will allow it to creep over, but the 4 would be a big difference maker. Where are you, Troy? Are you 4 or 3.5?
Well, the more I think about it, the more I have to think it's a 3.5. It's a great beer. It does. I didn't think about like the amount of carbs. That's kind of a knock. It does taste good, but like to be a 4 and over 4, it's gonna be like taste amazing. And this doesn't taste bad, but it's not like I'm not going to hunt this down. This isn't going to be my new...
Well, here's the screwy thing. I will still hunt it down.
For the can.
For the can. Absolutely. Because it's such a good-looking beer in your hand, and there's nothing offensive about it. I like it a lot.
It's so amazing that, like, some people can just knock it out of the park, and then others just, like, totally
shit
the
bed. They make the best damn IPA. Like, I'm shocked that this isn't...
But to me, I've never thought the Two Hearted Ale marketing looked good.
No, this is
way better, right?
This is phenomenal.
I'm looking at the brewery's website and everything.
Is that a fresh can, right? A fresh?
Yeah.
Pour half of that in there.
Look at that Two Hearted compared to this.
Yeah, I'm looking at their site.
Yeah, the Lighthearted is dope.
This is the only thing that's good,
that, Troy.
This is the only marketing that's good when it comes to like that beer. Everything else is just
because I want you to taste that, and now no, I also don't want a 7% alcohol beer on a Monday night, a full one. So let's just go ahead and I want you to try that.
Have we ever done the Two Hearted on here?
No.
Well, they got what's the other one they got here? The double Two Hearted. That's 11%.
That is over the top.
That is way over the top.
It's hoppied up. It's got. You know I won't drink that after you now. That's yours. Drink that. You know I'm weird, dude. Yeah. I'm weird even before COVID. Enjoy that beer. It's over the top, but it's smoother. It's maltier with all that hops.
Yeah.
It's a good beer.
I like the Lighthearted better.
Me too.
Because I would tell you this is the Two Hearted is way too over the top.
It is.
I got the funk mouth.
But it's a I have two total funk mouth.
Yeah.
But it's a quintessential IPA.
Yes.
And so like if you like IPAs, that's a good one.
I can see why IPA heads would like it.
Is it too
thick?
It's thick.
Yeah, it's real thick.
I think that's the carbs.
It's double. Yeah, it's double. I mean,
but it's a great beer. Like I seek
it's got
out
16 carbs in it.
No, this so the
didn't Lighthearted had like 8.
Okay, so light is at 8.7. The Two Hearted is at, which is just about, well, it's at 16.7.
That's what
double.
You said.
Yeah, and then they go one.
It said double. That's where I came up with that number.
And they go,
that makes sense.
But then they go one more with the whole double Two Hearted.
There's a double Two Hearted Ale.
Yeah, which they don't even put the carbs out.
No, I've never had that. It's just funked out.
It's 11% alcohol.
Oh my, yes, I'm good.
I'm really starting to think that they
Only
did take
out,
the Two Hearted and just cut it with water.
It honestly, you taste it. It's almost like they cut it with seltzer water because it's more bubbly.
Yeah.
This is really soft. I'm belching into the mic. That's good, pod. Sorry about that, guys. Jeez.
What's Original Gravity?
So there's only one more beer that we need to try. One more beer.
Oh, here we
go. Tonight?
Absolutely.
Oh, we got another beer?
Shit. What are we doing now?
Bush for Dogs.
Oh yeah. You got some of that?
We got to get some Bush for Dogs.
Well, we can't.
Have you seen this dog brew?
I saw it.
Can't let Wrigley miss out.
Yeah. From now on, if we can get some dog brew by Bush, so this literally Bush beer has come out with a beer they call dog brew, and it's freaking like bone broth mixed with like some spices and herbs.
Yeah.
I saw it, and I scrolled past it because I was like, that can't be true.
No, it's a
fact. That can't be real.
Because at first you think it's beer, but you go to it, there's no alcohol in it. It's literally just...
It says it's for your best buddy with a nutritious and tasty snack that helps you promote a healthy digestive system.
Boom.
Boom. In
It's
case
beautiful.
in case your dog eats a shoe, give him this. He'll be okay.
Oh, this dude needs one because my wife just texted me before the show started that he ate her new flip-flops she got to replace the other. This dude loves flip-flops. If you wear a shoe without a sock, he's like, "That's my shoe. That's my dessert."
Got that good funk on it.
It says here the bone broth.
best.
It says the bone broth is also a great way for dogs who struggle to eat solid foods to get their extra nutrients.
Oh my God!
It's
Who
here
would
it
buy
is.
this crap?
Here it is.
Oh, I'm gonna buy this. We're
instead of
positive. I hate.
yeah,
We're
it's not-
positive.
It's not crushable. It's positive.
It's positive.
Oh,
Yeah, that sounds right.
actually, I know who would buy this. People who drink Bush.
No, honestly, think about that. You're a dude. You drink Bush all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you're like a hunter, right? You're drinking your Bush. You got your hunting dog. You're back at the camp.
Yeah.
You would want a 6-pack of this so you could pour your dog a beer and have a beer with your dog.
Would I?
This whole beer is all
Yeah.
about a photo op.
Dude,
Your dog and a can.
I would buy this overpriced shit for the dog. I don't even like the dog.
I was gonna say I would not buy this.
There's something about not drinking alone, and this fits the bill.
If you think that fits the bill for not drinking alone, then you really have a drinking problem.
Could you imagine how fat if I made my dog drink one of these for
Every time?
Oh my God,
Wrigley,
huge.
get back in here! Don't you go anywhere.
Look, shit, Dick, you got to put this fucking funnel in your mouth. We're bonging this.
Daddy's on 10 and you're on 9. You better catch up.
Well, just so everybody knows out there, this is a join the waiting list for delivery. It's not out there yet, but it's coming.
I will order a 6-pack of dog brew. Now the question is, will you guys drink it?
No.
Ooh,
Stu will.
what's the?
Actually,
what's
all
the
you
bet?
have to do, Brendan, is pour some in a cup and you take a sip, and then Stu will reach over and grab it and drink it.
Fair enough.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I wasn't
Wasn't
paying attention.
That's not like you, Stu. That should be your drop. I wasn't paying attention. Hey, can I get a
I got
beer
it.
from down?
Yeah, we.
Just a Coors
Here-
Light
hey,
would be
here's
great.
Stu, can I get you a
I'm
beer
good.
through Brendan?
Yes.
Do the pass through.
Stu, lick this beer for me. I can't wait to have it. Thank you, man.
You'd never make it in the Middle Ages when the kings are having people test their food.
I would have
for
been
them.
just fine in the Middle Ages because no one would have ever told me this is how germs were transferred. You know what I mean? They would have been like, well, he must have breathed in the wrong bog.
Yep.
Like they didn't know what the hell was
Never
happening.
knew I died.
They were like, don't bathe, asshole. You
Yeah.
need to keep all them oils on you.
Go fight dragons.
Yeah, it was a different world, dude. I would have
I'm
never had an issue with it. I would have been
serious overload here. Got too
You
much
do
going
have
on.
3 drinks in front of you, 2 of which you hate. Like
This is okay.
I've
the
got
lighthearted, the
the
lighthearted,
lighthearted is good, and it's a
good.
dope can.
Go with the claw.
Does it say if dog brew is able to be drank by humans on that
That's a
website?
good question.
I would assume all dog food is.
Can humans drink this stuff?
Of course, you knew it was in the frequently asked questions.
Sure, if that's what you're into. Here at Bush, we do not judge, but the bone broth is made for dogs' refined palate.
Oh,
You may-
it's a mealy, nasty.
You may find it a little bland.
Insert do you eat ass joke here.
Yeah, we've tried it a few times. It's part of the job here at Bush.
Respect.
Oh.
We're testing dog brew.
I'm not drinking that shit.
How is you not? I eat the dog food. I try his food. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting stuff. I don't
I'm
know
glad
how
you
he
had
eats
to
it.
try it to figure that out. 'Cause
How
you
else
didn't
do you know?
Smell, sight, touch.
It says here it's
Wrong sense, Troy. It's about flavor. I don't listen to it. I don't hold the kibble to my ear and go, it didn't sound right. I eat it.
When I shake the can and it sounds like rocks, I know it's not for me.
Oh, man. That's why your digestive system's all fucked up.
Let's have Nick try it and see what comes out the other end.
No shit. How about here? Take an Imodium and swig of this.
They're
You'll
basically
be
saying
fine.
they're basically saying here that it's unlike humans. It's okay to drink the 6-pack in one sitting.
Unlike humans. Dude, I'm not drinking tonight. I'll have 6.
Yeah, especially Bush Light. Like, that's hardly even drinking. Like,
So if I got it, you would not even take a sip.
I mean, if you want me to puke,
You're not selling me against it.
You know what this basically is?
Stu, would you drink a little dog brew?
This is like the most bland chicken broth or pork.
Does it
broth.
have chunks in it?
No. It's a liquid.
Then,
It's
I'd try it.
Bone-in pork butt, whole corn, celery, basil, mint, turmeric, ginger, and water.
Boom. How good does that sound?
So
Not good?
that's like any bone.
You could literally live on that.
It's like any bone-in broth.
Yeah.
But like if you're gonna make your own chicken noodle soup, you're gonna add a little salt to the broth. You're gonna add
We
a
need to
little
find some underage kids to test this on. Got you some beer, dude?
Oh,
What if it looks just like beer and we have a contest? We have like, say we get 5 dudes in here, right?
Oh.
One of them is a shit beer, and everyone like musical chairs around the bar and stop, grab your beer and chug, and then the first whoever finishes, but one of them gets bone broth.
You don't have to finish it. You just whoever
because
gets
it's the shock.
Whoever gets the bone broth is out, and then the next person.
are you just
There
giving,
you go.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so I was thinking about this yesterday with my wife. We're going to go down to the beach in October because there's no one there. So that's the time to do it. So we're gonna go down there.
We're talking about taking a trip in October.
Yeah, and she was talking about we should make Jello shots because and I was like, that's fine. We can make Jello shots. It's like, but I will let you know that my plan is to use a very dark color of Jello. And 25% of them are going to be Malort.
Yes.
And the other ones are going to be vodka.
Yes.
And you won't know which ones are which because when you smell them, they're ice cold. You don't smell anything. I hope.
is that something you want to do to her?
It's what guys
The
do.
amount of things I want to do to her that are disgusting are through the roof.
These are what guys
No,
do.
that was-
These
that was
things
last
where there's
episode.
like
Yes.
guys do challenges where you're gonna have to pay a price. Like this is what we do.
Yeah. So I want 25% of the Jello shots to be full of Malort. So when you put them in, you take that first chew. It's going to be fine because it's
Actually,
mixed with, but it's still going to have that
It
aftertaste.
shouldn't be 25. You should do like just one.
Just
and then like
one in
whoever
there.
kid like
And
get
one
everybody throw money in on it or something. Like you win if you find that one.
And
Make it like a game.
There you go. So every time someone takes a shot and doesn't have it, you have to put
Yeah.
another $1 in the pot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then whoever gets the Malort shot gets the pot.
Yeah.
So there's going to be
because that's going to be a bad shot.
So
Like,
I would say
you're gonna
maybe
have to
you
chew
put
that Jello
because
up.
you're going to have. It has to be at least 10%. You can't just have one. I'm going to do 10%, and we'll just
How
do
many
the pot.
Jellos you gonna make?
I don't know. What's the going rate? 24?
How many people are you going with?
There'll only be 4 adults. So how many shots go down?
2 ice trays, 24.
24.
No, if for a week,
No, you need
No, for the
48.
event. For the event, or
100.
100 Jello shots over the weekend.
Yeah.
So
4 days.
20 of them should be Malort.
see, I was
no,
thinking,
15.
I was thinking more of like
10%.
Yeah.
10%. That's a good ratio.
Yeah.
But I was thinking more of like something you do. Here's something you're gonna do in the next. Like, here's the game. It's 2 ice trays.
You can do
it's
it 4
$1.
nights.
It's $1 a shot. Until you get the
You
Malort.
can do it 4 nights. If you make 100, then you have 25 a night. Divide by 4 people, and you could.
I like where your head is.
Yeah.
I like it. So every night there's one gremlin. Every night you get a winner.
Or every night, if you do 10% and there's 100, so every night there would be
A couple.
2 in there, and
Yeah.
you put them all in a bin, and you kind of shake it up a little, and you pull them all out, and you're like,
So what
Let's
color
go.
is going to hide the Malort the best?
Grape.
"What color?" Yeah,
Grape.
great.
We'll hide it.
I was gonna say what. I mean, Malort's like a brown color.
Goldish brown.
You probably need to use
Anything. That's-
a liquor like Malort to.
Can you do Jello shots with rum?
yeah.
Yeah,
Done. Then
Yeah.
then we can do any
because
flavor we
vodka,
want.
I think would
It would be obvious.
It'd be watered down, like
Because the blue would be a little more brown.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it would just be darker. You'd be like, eh.
yeah.
And just 1 au jus.
Oh, I wish a motherfucker would. I love this, too. 1 au jus. Yeah, I think I want to start putting ghosts in the machine of my Jello shots going
Yeah.
forward.
I like that idea.
I don't think everyone should just have fun. I think someone should not have fun because that's more fun.
No,
because
because the other 3 adults will have fun when the one person doesn't.
yes, and
Right,
I'm more
right.
about the masses. Like if there's a
And I like the money because then it's a reward for your punishment.
like if
Yeah.
there's a train rolling down the tracks, right?
Yeah.
And there's 3 people on this track, but you can pull the lever and it just kills one person over there. Well, then you pull the lever.
Yeah.
You save the 3 lives.
So is it like prior to 10 p.m. every night, you got to finish X number of shots?
I don't know because my wife's 3 drinks away from going to bed at any given moment in an evening. So I don't want to lose her.
You'll have to play this game at noon. Yeah.
Yeah. Afternoon.
You know what? That's not bad. Ham sandwiches and Jell-O shots for lunch.
Served in a greasy pork sandwich in a dirty ashtray.
I like it. You should use that as your movie quote because you say that all the time. You say that all the time.
Greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray.
Good old Chet from Weird Science.
Shut up.
I like this game.
Yeah, I think this is a good way to do Jell-O shots. You put some little bombs in there.
Yeah.
Malort bombs.
It shouldn't be all yummy deliciousness.
No, you can't all have yummy deliciousness. That's ridiculous.
Can we do this for the kickoff of football?
Bro.
Here?
Football. Did you know football? I know I opened it, but the only reason I opened with that today is because it's on my mind. Because I've been getting all these text messages about football season starting.
I'm not ready.
Everybody's like, hey, man, when's the fantasy draft? And I'm like, I don't know, 2 months from now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever football starts.
Yeah.
And they're like, football starts next week. And
nobody's been paying attention.
What?
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall. We are recording this on the 31st of August. Tomorrow will be September, and that's insane.
Without preseason football happening,
yeah,
I am not aware that football's on the horizon.
That was your warning. Hey, guess what we're getting close to?
Yeah, and you start to hear something like, oh, shit, someone blew out his knee. Or this, but I haven't heard any of that stuff. You know why? Because I don't watch SportsCenter anymore.
No,
I literally watch Cubs games, and now I'm watching the Tour de France. But
yeah.
I'm so removed from sports.
So, do you have any different feelings of the fact that football is just going to jump in without preseason?
It's going to be weird.
Actually, I don't like it. I've always been anti-preseason.
Got to warm up a little bit.
But now that I've seen no preseason,
we were talking about the pool yesterday. It's going to be lots of offsides, a lot of fumbles, a lot of drop balls, a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
It's just going to be weird.
A lot of refs picking up flags going, oh, I didn't mean to call that.
And
a lot honestly, of stars getting injured.
And fantasy, from a fantasy football perspective, I need preseason football to go, oh, shit, that rookie running back broke off, couple big runs. He could be the guy. Right now, I don't know anything about these rookies.
I don't know half the players in the league.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I downloaded some software tonight because, they're going to have to tell me what the hell
you do that every year.
Yeah. Because I need someone to tell me.
Fourth wall right there. Belichick says he's not sure he's going to name a starting quarterback.
Yeah, it's Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Stop screwing around. You've got a hell of a quarterback, and you've been coaching him for a little while. Let's not
What time is our draft this Thursday?
9:00.
Okay, so I was going to say, I know I'm busy till 8. But,
there were people who were complaining about they need to start late.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw it. We'll go late. We'll make it go. I also don't think that people are going to want to come over here and party.
I might come over here.
That's fine. We can. I'm just saying I don't think people are going to want to, so I'm just going to do it however. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, I might just auto draft, honestly.
You won last year on an auto draft. You're the champ without any effort.
Yeah. Well, I had effort.
During the year, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, on draft night, you disappeared and you came back and went,
well, I had something to do.
I could work with that.
But here's the problem with all this draft is you get the little cheat sheets and you do the thing. It's no one really knows. Who drafts someone and then they have the year that they're projected to have? I mean, it's very, very,
last year,
rare.
the anomaly was Christian McCaffrey. People were
right.
like, he's going to have a good, and he actually did. Everything else was crap.
Everything else, yeah.
Everything else didn't add up.
With no preseason, when it comes to fantasy, this just about puts everybody on the same playing field.
I'm going to that's true. All of the hardcore stat nerds, they've been reduced to rubble.
Yeah.
Because they don't actually know there's no stats.
What are the Vegas numbers?
I don't know.
For
we should gamble
literally
heavily.
I'm just saying, they're not seeing anything coming out preseason. They're not paying attention to. There's nothing there. The over unders, the whatnot.
All right, here's a little pro tip for you. Week 1, because I make money in preseason football usually because all I bet on is the coach. I look at the two teams and I go, who has the better coach? And that'll probably be true week 1, maybe a little week 2. Go in, find the better coach, the one that has better control over the stupid little things. You know, the offsides,
Yeah.
the bullshit penalties. That because it comes down to very little. What
Like the
swings an
Patriots
NFL
don't make
game.
a lot of mistakes.
So bet on the Patriots. The Patriots, unfortunately, would probably be a favorite.
Yeah.
So like Gruden is probably a good coach because the Raiders won't be a favorite. Bet on the Raiders. I'm calling it out. I don't even care what it is. If they're an underdog, I'm betting on the Raiders.
I'm gonna put a little money on, just because I'm a homer. I'm gonna put a little money on Cleveland. Go with Joe Burrow.
But see, you're just avoided my logic. I said coach, not player.
No, I know. He's a coach. The quarterback is a coach.
He's a coach. He's 20.
Here's something I was talking with my dad buddies at the pool yesterday. Like, I have hated Boston and the teams from Boston, and I've really hated the Patriots and Tom Brady. But now that he's down in,
You're rooting for him.
I'm kind of rooting for the dude.
I'm all in on the Bucks.
Yeah,
Well, I would root for him because it's like I want him to prove outside of what everybody's been saying.
Yeah.
for so
Well, because
long
I
in
think of
Boston.
Belichick as like the evil emperor in Star Wars.
Yes,
You know?
because he looks like him.
And now I want Darth Vader to like pull away and have that last moment of like, oh, you still got a little Anakin.
Yeah, because
in
I'm
you.
not rooting for the Patriots.
No, but I'm rooting for
Yeah.
Anakin to show that he's still got some human in him.
Yeah.
And Anakin is Brady.
Well, and he's got some talent down there to throw to. So
I'm all in on the Bucks. I'm
Yeah.
with you. All in on the Bucks. But week 1, I don't know that I would pick them because I don't know who their coach is.
So would you pick your stable?
I
Like
think
teams from the
their
past.
coach is
from the
Bruce
past?
Arian.
Oh, is they Bruce
Yeah.
Arians? Oh, that dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Betting on the Bucks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You want to bet on the
You're
best
right.
coach for week 1.
Yeah.
That's what I would
I don't
do.
know who they're playing.
Nobody does because the football's not really here.
Football hadn't
but yet
happened.
here it is. It's on my doorstep. I have a draft tomorrow night. I don't even know. I'm a diehard Bears fan. I don't even know who the Bears play week 1.
Yeah.
Like it's so far from my radar, and now I have to draft people. I'm very out of my element.
I seriously might, like, if I don't auto draft, I might just sit. I might just auto draft. I seriously might just auto draft. Like,
The best way to auto draft is sit back
and just
and
watch
it.
Yeah.
That way you can be like, because there is going to be the time where it goes, you need another tight end. And you're like, I don't want a tight end right now. Or you need a defense in the 8th round.
Yeah.
That's when you go, screw you, auto
Get
draft.
another skill position.
I'm going to take.
Yeah.
That's the only time you need to think, though. Like, let it do the first 5 rounds for you.
Yeah.
It paid off very well for you last year.
Yes.
And then after that, when you see that
But
they're
I mean,
gonna,
I got Lamar Jackson.
yeah, that was great.
I mean, but
You wouldn't have done that.
No.
Yeah, see?
Definitely not.
Brilliant. Yeah,
Just
no,
luck, though.
Let it auto draft, and then when it goes for that second kicker, go, hey, fuck you. I'd rather have another
yeah.
receiver here, and just
I need a
fix,
fourth defense. Wait, what?
Yeah, just fix the little glitches
yeah.
that auto drafts do, and you'll be fine. You've proven it can work, but what are the things that you had to fix? You had to get rid of the second kicker. You had to get rid of the defense.
Yeah.
You picked up other. Allow those players to be your choices. You'll do much better.
Well, I do think. I mean, one, there's a lot of luck, and two, is who you pick up in the waiver wires. Like if you're
Precisely.
like we're over here watching a good game, I see somebody like go off. I'm like, let's go see. Oh, he's still out there.
Yeah,
Let
go
me
get him.
Pick him up.
But that's what preseason is, and that's where the stat nerds excel. They sit there and they watch the preseason, and they go, oh, Tom, Dick, Harry just ran a 75-yard run, followed by a 50-yard run. I'm going to pick up Tom, Dick, Harry. And you're like, who the hell is Tom,
and
Dick,
he runs
Harry?
for 2 the rest of the season.
Sometimes that happens. But like in my mind, I'm always rookie running backs. That's the only thing I watch. I watch rookie running backs in preseason.
Yeah.
And I find 2 that I'm like, I like them. I pick them both up earlier than I should. One of them hits almost every time. Because running backs are the worst commodity in fantasy football because they have a 3-year shelf life before they're gone. And that first year is the only year to get a deal
But then
on
their
them.
name hangs on. You're like, oh, Joe Blow, that dude's a hell of a running back. It's like he was years ago.
It's so funny.
People still pick up Adrian Peterson in the 10th round because they're like, yeah, he's fucking great. He's 43 years old.
But you just said it, 3-year shelf life, and my boy from LSU, Fournette, just got released from the Jaguars after being
3
drafted.
years?
2017, he was the
See?
pick. That's it.
No, and that's exactly right because you get a 3-year shelf life as a running back, and your body is bruised and beaten. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he had injuries,
It's the
but
last
still.
position I'd want to be.
3
the
years.
running back.
Well, and then the way we have
Why
our
do you think
fantasy set up,
Why do you think I pick kickers?
we have so many
Brilliant.
We have so many people on our bench. It's hard to get good people.
I'm thinking about adding another bench spot because of Corona.
Yeah.
No joke, because you're going to get injuries that you didn't even expect, and people are going to pop. I mean, I don't know how it's going to shape out, but if MLB is any indication, the front half of the season is going to be fraught with issues.
You need to pick a new lineup because the offensive line was quarantined for this game.
Yeah, I mean, think about that.
Or whatever.
If you get 2 offensive linemen or 3 offensive linemen that go down in a week, your running back just went to shit. Your quarterback just went to shit.
Yep.
It all went to crap. It's going to be a weird year, man.
We're still doing fancy food, though, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
What?
We'll talk about it off air, but I don't think so. I got. There's a lot there with people uncomfortable coming over that I don't feel like they should feel forced or obligated to come over and like watch football. So I think this year is going to be a little different. It'll be a modified fantasy food. It's whoever feels comfortable.
Everything will come individually wrapped in a to-go bag.
Well, some people are going to have issues with watching people cook. Some people are going to. There's a lot of things that.
Well, some people might not even show up this year.
That's what I'm saying. There's going to be, we'll say 20% of the league won't show up. And if you include Ely, we'll call it 25%.
Yeah.
That dude, he's not going to show up.
Well, I mean, we have some people show up 3 or 4 times a year anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people who, and they're often the ones who are probably more concerned about this than. And I don't blame them. I think they should. If their wives are giving them a hard time, if they're uncomfortable, stay the fuck home. I'm not mad at you.
I'll just say this: with the whole COVID thing, when it comes to sports, the one thing that I have enjoyed is the fact I've had a condensed NASCAR season. I'm getting 3-4 races a week.
Dude, they should condense each race to 50 laps, and it would be a lot more exciting.
No, it's all good.
1 tank of gas. However long it takes to get through 1 tank of gas.
Go.
No pit stops, no nothing. Because you got too many dudes in the pit crew anyway. That's a fucking hot spot waiting to happen. Just a driver and a spotter. And that is it.
I don't know if you guys saw this the other day, but Ryan Newman.
I assure you we didn't.
After the Daytona race yesterday, he said the number 8 car just ran out of talent. I thought it was hilarious.
It's the first NASCAR joke I've laughed at in forever.
He was calling himself out. He's like, "We just ran out of talent."
I love it.
They still have that,
guys.
NASCAR.
We've gone way over.
Sorry,
we haven't. But I'm saying, I gotta pee and I'm done.
All right, wrap it up.
Sounds good.
This was fun though. I enjoyed it.
It's all your pleasure.
Exactly. Thank you, Chick-fil-A, and thank you guys so much for listening to the show. Do me a favor, if you need a pair of sunglasses, it's right here at the end of the year. Head over to Nectar Sunglasses, drop ITPH in the coupon code, and they will give you 30% off of those sunglasses. That's a damn good deal for some polarized sunglasses. Just saying.
We need more ratings. Our ratings numbers are stupid low. We've been on the air 5 years. We should
5
have
years.
way more ratings.
We should have thousands of ratings.
Yes.
And the numbers say that there are enough people out there that had they listened and rated us, good or bad, we'd have a shit ton of ratings.
And that's where the algorithm puts you. The more ratings you get, the higher
good or
up you
bad.
move. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you don't want too many bad ones.
No.
Please give us the 5-star kind. But
please, it literally takes 1 second. Just fucking click on it, please.
It's not complicated.
I've tried being a dick. I've tried doing other things.
Now you're just going to beg?
I'm begging.
Respect, Troy.
You've
tried
way
everything.
too low.
You tried nice. You tried mean. Now
I've listened to a lot of podcasts, and I listen to some obscure ones, and they all just kick the shit out of us. I mean, it's crazy. And I know we have great listeners, so fucking just do it.
I like it. I like where your head is. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't had a chance to head over to our Facebook page, please do so. You can always find us on Instagram at ITPH Podcast. Same place on Twitter. Or you can find us... I already said Facebook. Enjoy it. Or send an email in to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We would certainly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will talk to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
I like you guys.
I like it. Stu's coming up with his own lines. Respect, Stu.
Peace out.
And back to that one. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?